What's happening, everybody? My name is Charles Blaze, and this is the Current Gaming Podcast, episode number 18. Today, I am joined by none other than Aaron Weeks. How's it going, buddy?
Good.
Nice. Good commentary, guys.
Cheyenne Clark.
Hello.
And she went with the Richard Nixon introduction there. That was bold. That was bold. And David, my co-host, David Morgan, Dorvid Morgan.
Dorvid Morgan, how's it going, bud?
I'm doing good, man. You're high energy today. You're drinking a Dew coffee.
Madrina's
I'm not sponsored by them, but maybe one day.
Maybe one day. We got a cool show coming to you this week. We're gonna be talking about some Destiny 2 stuff, some Overwatch stuff, some GTA stuff. But let's start it real quick, right off. We're gonna be talking about eSports, the thing we are all experts on, the thing we know the most about. So apparently, in an interview with the Olympic chairperson, I don't know who the fuck. In an interview with the South China Morning Post, the current president of the International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach.
Oh my god!
What was that?
Sorry, it's my fucking cat.
Jesus
My cat
Christ.
is so hungry.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
god!
Continue.
Thomas Bach talked about how the Olympic Games views esports and apparently their desire to attract a younger audience.
All about explosions, he says.
And basically he went on to say they are interested in esports, particularly sports that don't have any kind of violence in them. He said that's kind of like a hard line for the Olympics is violence in the esport kind of realm. So games like other popular games, Dota 2 I'm sure has some type of violence, like even if it's cartoon stuff. Overwatch, Battlegrounds, CS:GO, those kind of games are kind of no-go for the thing. But then like games like maybe FIFA or Rocket League or like more wholesome.
I don't know. Rocket League has explosions.
Yeah, it
you
does.
blow up other cars. I guess you could try to convince them that they were RC cars, though.
So interesting thing. What do you think about this, David?
I think that was a pretty short-sighted comment that he had about all games being about death and violence. Like, sure, a lot of them are, but it's already been shown that that isn't typically what is the influential part of games for youth. Like,
You can make that same comment about any entertainment media ever, though.
well, yeah, but let's just disregard the fact that there are Olympic sports based on murdering people, like fencing and shooting and bows and arrows, all tools that were made to kill other human beings. But those are okay because I don't know. But I think this is kind of a slant to try to maybe get younger viewership in, because I know that the Olympics still get really good ratings, but they've said that their youth views have kind of dropped over the last few years, so maybe they're trying to pander a little bit. Not that I think that video games aren't a legitimate sport, especially if played in a competitive environment, but I don't know if they're being as genuine about this as some people think. So.
Cheyenne, what's your take? I
kind of think that sports shouldn't be at the Olympics either, not because they're violent. Like I don't care about that, but I think not that I don't see them as like a sport or like something legitimate. I just don't really think that regular like physical sports and like esports can be kind of enjoyed by the same audience, if that makes sense. Like people that are watching the Olympics probably don't have any interest in watching someone play like CS:GO or Rocket.
Aaron, do you want to win the gold in what game are you good at? I'm trying to think. You're not good at anything. So
Nice.
I'm not good at games.
What a compliment.
Yeah, that hurts, dude.
what game are you training for?
What game am I training for?
You got the talcum powder on your hands. You're ready to go. What game
I slap it on there and rub it around.
You do the LeBron this thing.
Get your controller all
and then I play Yoshi's Woolly World.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
That's a bold pick.
But no, I kind of agree that I don't really think the video game should be in the Olympics. I don't really think they have much of a place there. Not necessarily because like it's not the same audience. I think there are a lot of people that just like competition. Like I don't know that it has to be sports or it has to be video games. I think that there are a lot of people that just, like I said, enjoy the spirit of competition, whether it be an electronic media like video games or sports. I don't know that video games could find a place in the Olympics just because I don't even know how to articulate it really. I just like.
Do you think it's like apples and oranges, like esports and physical like competition in the Olympics?
Yeah.
Like, because there's, I think that they've been like pining to have like chess and shit in the Olympics too, and that got shot down. So that kind of thing not being there, like that kind of like mental kind of, it's more like a mental fitness test than like a physical one. That not being there, but them suddenly going, oh yeah, we think video games maybe should be in the Olympics is why I think it's kind of pandering to younger audiences instead of just being a genuine consideration of theirs, right?
It also just doesn't feel practical, really. Like, how would you choose the video games that you put in there? Like, is it literally just going to be Overwatch and
especially games that have like yearly iterations, like FIFA 18, and then they change a bunch of shit for FIFA 19, and then is that the new Olympic sport, or do you just stick with one? How do you pick teams? How do they train? It's all like, it's probably really hard to organize because of all of the logistics of it.
And there's the whole the issue. I think they try to favor sports that are like like more developing countries and countries with lower incomes and statuses can participate in, and video games are very like you have to like it's an expensive hobby nonetheless if you're gonna like train at it professionally. Like it is an expensive kind of thing.
You can't have equal representation that way. It's not. It's not like you can have representatives from a bunch of.
And I think his quotes kind of being like thrown out, like the whole violence thing. Like it's kind of misconstrued a little bit, because I agree with him. Like I'm fine. Like if the Olympics like allowed esports, but they were like, we don't want CS:GO. Like that makes sense to me.
Yeah, well,
like I'm fine with, or they don't want battlegrounds. Like that's fine. Even Overwatch, like even though it's like cartoon violence, like I get it. Like, but like with the Rocket League and stuff like that, I think eventually these kind of sports are gonna, at least I don't know. Like I think they probably will make it to the Olympics at some point in the, maybe not in the near future, but in the future. I think that.
Well, here's the thing though, is that these already have platforms. Like Rocket League's gotten picked up by NBC, so they've got like the doubles tournament stuff on NBC. They've got it on BBC Three. It already has a platform on cable television, so I don't know why the Olympics suddenly need to be like the kind of boost that esports. I think esports is fine for a niche audience.
I'm not saying they need it as a boost, but like there's the MLB, and baseball is now being in the Olympics. It's not like the MLB teams go play. It's like you represent your country. Whereas it'll be the same thing with Rocket League. Like if there's a team that's made up of a guy from the UK, a guy from Finland, and a guy from Sweden or whatever, they would represent different countries, and it makes it is fun to like root for your home country and stuff like that in the Olympics, and it's a cool little thing. So I see it happening, but not in the near future.
Maybe if they like did a separate category, well, I guess that's how it would work anyway. But like if there was like an Olympic esport, maybe it was just like a separate event on another yearly.
Yeah, why don't they do it like the Winter Games?
Yeah, like similar to the Winter Games, it's got its own yearly cycle.
That'd be cool. I'd be totally down for that. That'd be like.
Then it's got its own audience, like Cheyenne was saying. If there's people that don't care about sports or people that don't care about whatever, they don't have to watch it.
Right. I don't want my mom to be like watching the Olympics and be like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Right.
Why is there video games? Yeah.
That's another thing I kind of think about is like the lifespan of like an esports athlete or whatever is very narrow, very short. Like as soon as you hit like 22 or 23, it's like you're done. Kind of.
I'm already too old to be.
Where it's like so like. If I don't know, like if there was a like I don't know how to describe it, but like there are potentially people that would be really good at a game that might age out before the next Olympics comes.
Yeah,
kind of situation.
All of the esports pros are like 16. It's so crazy. It's because reaction times.
Just an interesting thing. This next story we have here is gonna be a short one if my computer loads it. Maybe. Okay, fuck it didn't. What was the next story? Dead Rising 4 is coming to PS4. David, you want to read the story because my computer fucked up?
Yeah, totally. The story comes from GameSpot. So Capcom announced that there's a Dead Rising 4 port coming to PS4 on December 5th. This game was, as you guys probably know, exclusive to Xbox One, and I think it was on Windows as well.
Yeah.
So kind of a big deal, like not because the game is great, but because it was a Microsoft exclusive that they're now losing. And there's already been a lot of discussion about Microsoft not having enough exclusives, a lot of their exclusives getting delayed or canceled. So this is kind of just another blow to that kind of target that they're trying to reach, maybe with having games that are worthwhile for picking up an Xbox One or whatever. I don't think the game is supposed to be great. I think it's kind of the audience of the games thought it was kind of a shitty one, but I think it's more interesting for the fact that this is getting a PS4 port at all.
Yep.
So who knows if it was timed? Do you think it was timed, or do you think that this was like a decision that Capcom had to make?
Timed. 100%. Okay. Like it was like because like originally, like if this was a decision Capcom made, they would have originally said, well, we're working on a PS4 when it'll be out in the future. But like whenever journalists or anybody would ask them about a PS4 port, they would be like, oh, I don't know, maybe, like, and like that kind of signifies like, oh, Microsoft had you have a contract with Microsoft that says we're not going to talk about this until it's like we have a 2-month window where we can market our PS4 version, but like it's the same thing that's going to happen with Battlegrounds too. That is
Right.
It's exactly the same thing.
Well, that's good news too for people who wanted it for PS4.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, interesting to see. I think this is like kind of a stopgap thing for Microsoft right now, is where they're getting these timed exclusives, because that you can just throw money at that, and it's a lot easier than developing games like internally by yourself. And if you think about it, like Phil Spencer's only been the head of Microsoft for 3 years, and that's about like, if he was to start his Xbox initiative like at that point, you need time to develop the talent, build the studios, and all that kind of stuff to get first party or exclusive, like real true exclusive stuff on your platform. So this is kind of like a stopgap thing where they can just throw money at a few third-party games, maybe get like 6 months time, like Tomb Raider they did it with, and other stuff to try to get the timed exclusivity things with
So Cheyenne, do you think that this year at E3 we'll see more of a Xbox, kind of like we saw 2 years ago at PS4 conference? It was just like exclusive after exclusive announcement. Do you think that we'll see that from Microsoft or something similar?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it seemed we were kind of expecting that from this summer, and it didn't really happen. They kept kind of saying exclusive, but it was like, it wasn't like just Xbox console exclusive. It was, a Microsoft thing, so you can also do it on PC.
Or
so
like the timed launch
know.
exclusive on Leap Day.
A lot of it.
Like, this is only exclusive, but like they get to put exclusive in the announcement kind of stuff.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see more of those, where it's not necessarily what I would consider exclusive, but I do hope that now that Xbox kind of has their thing going, that there will actually be exclusives for the Xbox. I'm hopeful.
Aaron, we've been talking about this for a while. Do you view this as like a stopgap thing, like I was kind of saying, or like do you think this is like all Microsoft has and this is just their plan for the future? And they'll say like, this is the best place to play third-party games. We have the Xbox One X. It runs games at whatever 1080, 60, or 4K 30 or whatever. But like, in terms of exclusive, this is what we're doing. This is our plan.
Yeah, I mean, this is me saying this is like someone who like has no business experience, but like if it were me, with pre-orders so high on the Xbox One X, you'd think they'd want to start building their lineup of exclusives at least for the future. With, like I said, so many Xbox One X pre-orders on the horizon, like they can market these games that are like, okay, we've got all these cool exclusives coming out for the Xbox One, better for Xbox One X.
Yeah.
So then it's like they've got exclusives coming, and they're catering to that audience they have for the Xbox One X.
Absolutely. So this next story, it actually works on my computer, David, is about the Nindies event that happened. When was it? It was Wednesday, I want to say. Was it Wednesday? I can look. Yeah, Wednesday. Where they announced a bunch of different indie games that are coming to the Switch. Some old, some new. So Super Meat Boy is getting a Super Meat Boy Forever edition. Kentucky Route Zero was a big one that they got. There's some other ones
I'm excited
in
to play
there.
that.
The Battle Chef Brigade, No More Heroes, Travis Strikes Again, which is the, I would say, the biggest one. Hyper Light Drifters coming there, Attack on Titan.
No. You're not gonna fucking shove that in the middle like it's not the biggest thing, man.
So yeah, David, Aaron, let's start with you. You like No More Heroes, right?
Yeah, I didn't play it like anywhere near as much as someone else here might have, but I definitely played it. I loved it. I never owned a copy myself, so I never really got a chance to finish it. Definitely excited for the new one though, and maybe I'll take some time to go back and replay the old one.
How far did you get in the first one?
Not for like, I literally played it for maybe a couple hours at your house when we were younger.
I have a copy that you can borrow.
That'd be cool, but the problem is it's a Wii game, so.
Well, this is you can play it on Wii U.
Well, I know, but that means I have to hook up my Wii U.
Well, I mean, yeah. So, me and Cheyenne, like, I wanted to play the first one again. Before this, like, I got really hyped on this announcement, obviously. So I was like, Cheyenne, you've never seen No More Heroes. We're gonna play No More Heroes this weekend. I had to call GameStop. I called like 3 GameStops, and I was like, do you have it for Wii? Do you have it for Wii? Do you have it for Wii?
Oh, you
One
didn't
of
even
them
have
had
a copy?
My fucking.
Oh
ex-
yeah. Okay.
I'm not fucking with that. So I called them, and it's only $7 used, which I was amazed by because it's kind of it got really good reviews. It's pretty popular. But one of them had it. It was in the original case, and then I get home and I realize my sensor bar doesn't work, and you can't hook up the Wii U backwards compatible thing without the sensor bar for some fucking reason. You have to point the Wiimote at the TV to select this one option.
Yeah,
so I had to buy a sensor bar too. So it was about $20 altogether, which is like not terrible. We got home. We've been playing it. I'm like 4 bosses in. I'm loving it just
We
as
talk
much as I
about how
did.
the sensor bar beeps every 1 or
Oh
2
my god, it's like
hours.
wireless. So you set a timer and it starts screaming at you after like an hour. Like, turn me off. I'm like, can't you just fucking
Wait,
do
while
it
you're
yourself?
playing the game or just
Yes.
Anytime. If it's
So
been on
just,
for an
like-
hour.
The only option is
like during the
off,
day?
or it sets off an alarm
Yes.
after 1 hour or 2 hours.
Or 2 hours.
But like,
It's so
like
dumb.
does it
sounds like
just
a
do this in
fire
the middle of the night or something like that? Like it's
Yes,
like a fire
Turn it
alarm?
if you
on,
left
yeah.
it on.
I don't know that mine's ever done that, but maybe I just always.
No, yours isn't wireless. Mine is like a special
okay.
third-party wireless thing. But Aaron, would you buy a port of the first 2 games on Switch?
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Absolutely.
I
what
think
kind of
that is
questions?
what they are going to do.
Does
I
that
think that
work
what
with
they
the
are going to do.
Joy-Cons?
Huh?
Does
Yeah,
that work
you'll
with the
play it with the
Joy-Cons?
Joy-Cons separated,
Yeah.
which would feel fucking
Yeah, 'cause
incredible.
use
It's
the
just like the
nunchuck
nunchuck and the Wiimote, but like with
Mhm.
HD rumble, so it would feel a lot better. It would work. Like the motion
I
controls
was
would
about
be
to say,
perfect.
and the motion controls are a
It
million
would.
times
You
better.
have to play that game
Right.
with motion controls. It just works. Like it is the best use of them I think I've seen on the Wii for just how satisfying it makes. Every like, if you guys don't know, basically you
Better than
attack with the
Link's
A
crossbow
button.
trading?
Yeah, just a little bit though.
Just making sure.
You attack with the A button, so you're just traditional attack, and then when you get to a finishing move on an enemy, like every time you're killing an enemy, you have to swing the Wii remote in a direction to slice them like in half. And it's just so satisfying every time. So I think that it's going to work really well if they decide to do that, and I really hope so.
Are you at all worried about the structure of the boss fights in the new one? Because they kind
Are
of
you-
hinted at it being like a.
Are you suggesting that what a lot of people are saying, that it'll just be like a mini game collection or something?
Not necessarily. I wanted to know your take. On that.
I was worried for like a minute until I read a bunch of interviews with Suda and the studio, and they said on multiple occasions it's just like the old games. It has classic 3D action gameplay. You're going to be fighting a lot of enemies just like the old ones. There's going to be traditional boss fights. It's only that you're going into the worlds of.
So it's similar to like Kingdom Hearts, but with
it's like Kingdom Hearts. So
yeah.
so
Yeah.
the plot of the game is that Travis has this game system that's referenced in Let It Die, and it sucks you into the game, like your body into the game. So it's
See,
like
that's sick. That's what I was hoping it was when I saw
Yeah.
this. But I saw people saying shit like it's gonna be you're doing mini game style, like going through
No.
these different games, and
that's
that sounds
already
awful.
confirmed bogus. So the first game that they announced was Hotline Miami, so it'll be like Travis, and they don't know the guy's name. Everybody's calling him different things. The bad man, all this shit. But it's
The main
Bad
character
Girl's
from
dad.
Hot Miami? Is that what we're talking about?
No, it's
Oh.
one of the assassin's dads that you killed in the first game.
Yeah, I didn't recognize her either, but I mean, maybe I just didn't make it that
She's
far.
like one of the later or mid bosses.
Oh, okay.
So you and him fight together in these worlds to try to get out. Because he's trying to get revenge on you, but he gets sucked in too. So the second game they announced was Shovel Knight, which I thought was fucking awesome. I can't wait to go into that world and see how they handle that. A lot of rumors have been flying around that like Undertale could be one. I guess Suda likes that game. I would imagine that would be a total possibility.
That's
what do you
fucking
guys-
sick. The level of collaboration in this is awesome,
Mhm.
and like
Yeah.
I would like to start seeing stuff like this more often in games.
Absolutely.
That's fucking cool as shit that these developers are all working together, you know, towards a common goal, kind of.
Mhm. Yeah. CJ, what do you think of that? Do you think it's a cool idea that they're bringing in these indie talents to help them out
Yeah,
with
the indie collaboration is awesome. We didn't talk about it, but there's this fighting game that's like literally is a Super Smash Brothers ripoff game that is just indie character. Like it has indie characters from
Hyper
most
Light
games.
Drifter.
Like,
Is
it
that
has
the one with
Hyper
Hyper
Light
Light Drifter in it?
Yeah.
It's
And
not
like
indie
that-
characters though. It's all the characters.
No,
I
they're
thought
all original.
Oh, I thought it was all. I
Hyper
thought it was all. I thought it was
Hyper Light
all-
Drifter is literally the
He's
only
just
one.
in it.
It's like a
Oh,
special
alright, well,
case.
fuck me then. But like, and then we saw there was an ARG that went on with a bunch of different indie games. Like I think The
Mhm.
Witness was part of it, and the one, the fuck is that game with the fucking
That was
Spelunky? And a bunch of different games. It was for Frog Fractions too. Or
Frog
whatever.
Fractions
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
And like the collaboration within the indie scene is really neat, and it's cool to see that kind of stuff. So if like Pseudo's like doing that with No More Heroes, that's really cool. And earlier I said Attack on Titan was coming. I misspoke. That's a game called Morphe's Law. That is very like
Morphe's
Attack.
Law.
Very like Attack on Titan.
What is it like Attack on Titan?
No.
Like, there's just
what the
big
fuck are you
guys.
talking about?
There's just big like
Nothing.
giant dudes.
What the fuck?
It's
I don't
nothing
know.
like the.
This is what dude, Attack on Titan is in italics in this thing.
You don't
and
fucking watch anime. They don't fucking.
I know.
watch
I'm not a
anime.
fucking nerd.
Really quick before we move on though with the other games, Cheyenne, you had never seen No More Heroes. What do you think of what you've seen so far? Because that game is
So
pretty
far,
weird.
I am very into it so far. It is really weird. Like there's this like open world that's really barren and shitty, but like
Yeah.
So it's like
I don't know.
Nier.
Well, it's
Yeah.
it was so bad that some people raised the question that Suda did it just to like satirize shitty open world games. But take
Yeah,
what you
but,
will from that.
but like the boss fights are super cool. The characters are awesome. Travis Touchdown is daddy, so I'm
That's
very
right.
excited.
So, CJ, would you play those games if they came to Switch?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe
Some of the other
not.
games that got announced looked really cool though at the Nindies thing. I really liked the
yeah.
one that was like an action side scroller RPG. I don't remember what it's called. Oh fuck, that's gonna bother me. Let me find out. It's by the Mighty Gunvolt people. They made it.
Unfamiliar. I don't know. I didn't watch this. I only caught the recap stuff. And
You
Kentucky
didn't watch
Route
it? It's
Zero.
only like 20 minutes long.
The Kentucky Route Zero thing was the only thing I really cared about.
Straight fire.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I like how Nintendo, like a year and a half ago, was just like Nindies, and we all agreed on that. We're all like, we're gonna let.
That's a
this
good
go.
name. That's
We're
like
gonna let this go.
that's very good.
So yeah, while David unpacks his boner for No More Heroes that he just,
It's so good.
that he
They're
just
so good.
shared with all of us. Cheyenne, you can talk to us about Overwatch's new deathmatch mode.
Okay.
And
Oh,
stuff
dude, I
like
got a
that.
story for you, but you
Yeah,
go
all
first.
right,
I'm
you
sorry.
guys, you
Alright,
go ahead.
well-
You go ahead.
Okay, now I'm.
All right, no, who's talking? I don't know. What
Cheyenne is
Go
talking.
ahead. Okay, I'm talking. Well, to be honest, I'm not like the biggest fan of the deathmatch.
Because you're fucking trash. I won my
I
first
am.
Rumble, dude.
Okay, that's my story. I gotta
Fucking
jump in.
off here, bro.
DJ was talking
it.
so much shit last night about how he won his first free for all. I went in and won my
Yeah.
first two, so suck it.
That's the
Mm,
move. Maybe we're
Nice.
just good. Maybe we're good, Aaron. Maybe
Dude,
we
I've
should
been
join
like playing
Cheyenne's
Reaper
Reddit
a
friends.
lot, and I was
yeah.
fucking people. Like I was like 10 kills ahead.
Yeah,
the
Reaper
first
would
time
be
I
good
won.
with that. Reaper would be good with that. Yeah, Cheyenne, you can't be going in there with fucking Mercy. And then that shit
Oh,
don't
But
fly.
I love going in there
free-for-all.
with Mercy. I was gonna actually say that like people on the Discord, we were doing like a custom game and we were all playing the free for all, and I was actually kind of wrecking them a little bit as Mercy.
She
So that
didn't
was-
have her buff yet, right?
No,
No,
but
make sure.
she has a good gun, so
Yeah.
it was just kind of silly, but I love doing that. Usually I go in as Diva just because like I have a zillion health.
Yeah, Diva. I'm Soldier. Soldier. all
The
way.
ones that are the worst
Yeah.
are fucking Junkrat is a pain in the ass with his new buff. That like
Roadhog
fucking
is
double.
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah,
Roadhog I have
Roadhog
no
is-
trouble with as Reaper.
What is this mode? Is it like a just everybody
like
on their own?
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
How does that
free-for-all
work?
where-
There's so many hard counters in that game. Like if you were a Junkrat versus a Pharah, you'd just be fucked. Like I don't
Yeah. I
understand.
I mean, you can
Yeah,
switch.
His
They just
double
don't-
like, what is that
Whatever.
fucking thing called? The thing that he,
The mine?
Mine.
The mine?
Yeah.
that I'm telling you makes such a huge difference. It's fucking insane. Like the
Mhm.
fact that he
Yeah.
can throw two of those and they do
Yeah.
like a shit ton of damage.
Yeah,
Like I literally can't do anything to a Junkrat as Reaper if
That's
they're
awesome.
good with that mine.
yeah. You can change your character like whenever
Okay.
you die.
Okay.
So it's
Also,
not like
if there's
you're
a
stuck.
Pharah, like, just stay away from her. There's 7 other people you can kill. Guys.
That sounds
It's
like a
also
pain in the
the
dick.
map
Never
for the deathmatch that is pretty huge, so
Yeah, the map's really cool.
you avoid.
So if
it,
everybody
yeah.
just goes outside in that one like courtyard kind of area.
Really, I was about to say, it seems like the
Whatever.
meta is to go into that room underneath and just wait by the med kit. At least that's what I was
Yeah.
doing as Reaper.
Oh,
And
yeah,
just
that's,
fucking.
yeah, that's the way to do it. I was just Symmetra to try to do that with me, but I won my first one, Aaron. I'm proud of you for winning it. We're winners.
I screen capped it in
That's
case you
just-
tried to call me out, like say I
that's-
was lying to you. I saved that shit.
You got receipts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, there's also a team deathmatch where you have 4 players against 4 players, and you kind of.
we were wrecking
Yeah.
shop in that. Like, 2
Yeah, we were
nights
We
ago.
probably.
were
Me and
the
TJ
dream
both got to
team.
play the game.
Nice. That sounds fun. See, I like that because
Yeah,
I
it's-
don't know. The objective based stuff is cool, but I've always just kind of wanted a game mode where I could just get my KD up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
and a lot
have
of
fun,
people
Yeah.
wanted that.
I
so.
I mainly play as soldier, so I feel you, dude.
Dude, if we all
Not
played
wrong.
team deathmatch, I feel like we would fuck people.
Yeah,
up,
we were
'cause-
me,
Yeah.
Cheyenne, Caleb, and my girlfriend Cheyenne were wrecking people. Where we had
I'm telling you, if we had it
Do it.
digitally, I would totally hop in with you.
dude,
I mean,
just
I would too
fucking
if you guys
buy it.
played
Just
Buy
be an
it.
adult.
fucking midnight sometimes.
Yeah.
If it goes on
adult.
sale, like a deep sale, I'll
Right.
do it.
Dude, there was like a chance where like if you had run the scheme I told you to run, you were like it would have been fine.
Well, that was back when I like gave a shit about like my rank and crap like that, and I wanted to play on PC because I thought I was like being a hot shit like keyboard guy. But like now I just don't fucking care, and I just want to play a
It
game
was
casually
like
with my friends.
I think what it was like it was on sale for like $30, and then you could have sold your hard copy for like $25, and then just
Yeah,
bought
I
it
got it
digitally.
for-
But like
Yeah.
you're like, no man, I gotta fucking like mouse and keyboard only way to play.
I'm
man.
a
You know
flat
what I'm saying,
guy.
man?
David got into like a hot debate with that one with Cody's friend when we were in Columbus at that hotel.
Oh, yeah, that guy was a
yeah.
fucking idiot. No, he had no
got
idea.
into such a heated debate with this dude
Oh
about
my
We want to
mouse.
talk about this on the podcast? Go. You gotta set
He
the
was
stage.
trying to say that like keyboard and mouse was not superior for shooters to controllers, and I was like, you are fucking
Yeah.
high. Like there is no universe
It
where
was
that
this
is
guy
true.
that we don't know that well, and it was
Yeah.
like it
And,
was
like,
getting hot.
It got kind of, yeah.
David had
You like
to
hugged
take
it out
down.
with me. I guess I fucking must have. I came on strong because I was pretty drunk, but I was like, you are fucking wrong.
Oh, we were all plastered. That was Moon Hooch, dude. That
yeah,
was
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
Moon Hoot.
Do we want to
But yeah,
explain what Moon
I-
Hooch is?
No,
He's
that's
like
not
doing
the word.
all of these like very deep references.
deep
that,
cuts from the friend
You
group.
know what,
to the
what
fucking
they got to
public.
do? The two viewers that we have is just they have to keep watching, and they'll learn more over
One
time.
day.
You know? They'll understand these references one day.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because Destiny 2 is gonna come out next Wednesday, and we're all gonna play that instead. So I'm not too worried about it.
All right.
Speaking of
Still playing
which,
Overwatch.
we have a Destiny story.
Yeah, but
right?
that's not next. We're doing these.
Well, it could be if you knew how to
doing them
flow
in
shit
order,
together.
David. Well, I didn't know
God
you were
damn
gonna
it.
randomly bring up Destiny for no fucking reason when I was putting these stories.
There's
together.
a reason.
So there's
It's a
a
good-
PS4 controller that like you can kind of see through it. Next story.
Awesome. I
That's
like those.
fucking-
I'm gonna buy
Dude,
one.
those
Yeah,
controllers
they're
are cool.
okay.
You didn't give them the spotlight they deserve.
They look
Those
really
deserve
cool.
credence.
They do.
Yeah,
I need to
like,
get-
I
Shout
already
out-
have like 4 though. I don't want to
Shout
buy
out-
another
don't.
one.
Yeah, we have too many.
Shout out to the N64 controller and console that was like purple see through. Those were
Dude,
the
these look
best.
fucking
That was like the
sick.
OG 64 controller. That's the one
Those
that
were
I had
fucking
first with my
awesome.
64.
Those are my favorite.
Dude, what the fuck? I'm gonna buy one of these. I love the way that the plastic is like another color. It's like the same color but
You
opaque.
don't need another one.
But they look
don't
so
have enough friends
good.
that
I
come
for sure
over to
need a
play with
controller,
all
so
of
I'm
our-
like definitely gonna get the blue one.
Yeah,
Dude,
I've
you'd
had
be able
the
to see
same
all of
thing.
my hand
The white
grease
one.
so well on these.
Hell yeah, dude.
I get syrup hands.
And then you're
When I hand
talking
the
shit
controller
about
to
Aaron
somebody-
with his like messy hands, David. You got the.
I got fucking
The turkey
What the
toxic
fuck was this?
fingers.
I don't have messy hands. What are you talking about?
Well, that's what he was saying. He was like, I was
wasn't
like,
talking
you gotta
shit.
put talcum powder on your hands, and you're like,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
'cause-
Oh no, I was saying if you put that on your hands and then you held the controller, it would fucking make it gross. You get all
Well, I
like,
was just saying,
be like corn
that's what I
syrup.
was
syrup.
referring to. That's what I was referring to. This next story we have here is about the Xbox Live Game with Gold and PS Plus games. So Xbox Live, this month you get, or that's August. Never mind. September you get Forza Motorsport 5 and Oxenfree.
What was that? What's
I'm
the
sorry. How'd you pronounce
Shut
that?
up.
Forza
Forza?
Motorsport
Good boy.
5.
Okay, I want to talk about this for a second though, because like you guys made the comparison to pizza the other
Yes.
day. Like, do you say
Those are
pizza?
Italian things.
But there's
That's
2
easy.
Z's in pizza.
Doesn't matter. The same
Does it-
fucking concept.
Well, but how does that not change the
Because
pronunciation?
there's an A after the Z, you fuck up. There's 2 A's, but
There's an
under
A
the-
after the Z in Forza.
Yes, exactly. So it's Forza.
There's an
Why
A
is-
after the Z in Zane for Zayn Malik.
Yeah, but is his name Italian? Is it
Should be
Zane?
Zane.
It's Tane
Zane?
Malik.
Zane.
Okay.
Forza
Alright, I'm good.
Motorsport
That's-
5,
That's
Oxenfree,
it.
Hydro, Thunder, Hurricane, and Battlefield 3. That's cool. Oxenfree is a really good game.
Battlefield
Yeah,
3?
I wanna
You should
play
all
it.
play that. It's on
What
the
the
Xbox.
fuck?
Because all their Xbox 360 games are backwards compatible because that's just better.
These
on
are-
Xbox.
Oh, that's a yeah. Okay.
And then Forza Motorsport 5, that's a cool one too. And then PS Plus, for this month is Infamous Second Son, Strike Vector X, Truck Racer, Handball 2016, which is
What the fuck are these games?
Okay.
shout out to Handball 2016, their developer, dude.
Is that
Whoever-
rugby?
whoever- No, it's handball where you like hit it
The
off the
fuck is that?
fucking wall. We Are Doomed and Hatful Boyfriend on PS4 or on Vita and PS4, and then also they're adding Rigs on PS as a PS Plus game for the PSVR, which is an interesting step. Where are they going to start adding PSVR games like going forward to this, or how do you feel
Yeah.
like what they should do? I'm honestly like I'm for them if they did that. Like just get rid of the PS3 games and like add like
Yeah,
more,
who-
you know
I
what I'm
don't know.
saying? Like that's how I feel.
Or just make like it be like less games, but games that I've actually heard of. Because right now
like-
it seems like they're just
Yeah.
throwing everything at us
Yeah,
at
it's
once.
like I
and
don't
you're
need
but look
Truck
at how many.
Racer and Handball 2016. I'm sorry.
Like,
Just
fuck
dropping
off.
PS3 though, I feel like is not a good idea because that would just like generate so much ill will from the small community
What
that
if-
does
if they were
still
like,
focus
we're-
on
There's plenty of
We're
people.
getting rid of
Yeah.
PS3.
Yeah. anything like that. I feel like you'd have a small community that would be so vocally pissed about this like irrelevant thing that it just wouldn't
They would
be
have
worth
to
it
make
them.
PS Plus on PS3 free. At that point.
Yeah, they'd have to do some kind of
Well, it's
bullshit
like you don't
to
need PS.
make up
That's
for
the
fact-
only benefit you're getting for it on PS3. Like you don't need it to
Well,
play online.
Oh, you
What
don't?
are you talking about?
No, on PS3.
So they could still down. You're saying
100% sure.
Okay.
Like we don't need Truck Racer and Handball 2016. I'm sorry.
No, those games
Do not need
fuck off.
those.
I would
And
take
they
one
would get-
AAA game
they
over
would get
all of these.
more goodwill if they got rid of those 2 games and added a VR game, or they added a whatever game. You understand what I'm saying? Like I would way more.
Yeah, I guarantee there'd be a community of people that's like, I still fucking use my PS3.
yeah,
You're gonna
well,
suck my dick,
abandon
kinda.
me?
That's like, yeah, like whatever. Like there's always gonna be a community on the internet that hates everything, and that happens. Like
I
and I
guarantee.
don't
want
wanna
to
dismiss
There'd be
them, but,
articles
like-
everywhere like PS3 gamers are so mad.
we don't need Handball 2016.
Oh,
Why? I think the bucket's running dry, dude. I think they're just like there aren't enough games releasing fast enough for them to be able to justify putting on more recent games on PS Plus.
Also, yeah, how much longer are they even going to support the PS3?
Yeah, it's why.
How long is
Why?
Nintendo gonna support the 3DS?
That makes
Like,
even less sense to me
fucking
with
stop.
the Switch being what it is.
So stupid. I know it's so dumb.
Honestly, like I own a Vita and I play my Vita not regularly, but like at least once or twice a month. And like, quit with the Vita games, man.
Like
yeah.
at least the Vita is like tangential to the PS4. It's
Dude,
not
I had
like
a dream
direct.
the other night that I had a Vita, and I woke up in the morning like wanting to play
More
the
like
Vita
a
that I
nightmare.
didn't have.
That
It
is
was a
some
nightmare, dude.
Inception shit. TJ incepted you.
He did. I wanted to buy a Vita after that. I was like, why don't I have a Vita? And then I remember that it's a piece of shit.
But like, if there was like literally, if they got rid of PS3 and Vita, and just made it 2 like not marquee games, but like
Good games.
good
God damn
games,
it.
like Strike
Good
Vector X.
games.
I'm good for you. I'm sure you worked very hard, development team, but like, no,
Development team.
no,
you
we
fucker,
don't-
you fucking nameless hacks.
Strike Vector X. I'm sorry. Like the only 2 games that matter here are Infamous Second Son and Hatoful Boyfriend. Like
I
they're the
agree.
only 2 that matter.
That is
I
correct.
like-
still will not play that.
And
I
the,
That's
and
cool
the,
though.
play Infamous.
What?
and the
Hatoful
EU
Boyfriend or Second
one
Son?
had Child of Light on it too, which is bullshit because that game's fantastic.
And a Child of Light. I thought that was for US too. That sucks.
No, it's for EU. Yeah.
That's a good
I think
game.
it's cool that Second Son is free now too, because I think that's every Infamous title has been free at one point or another.
Yeah, I think so.
So that means like
Oh, did I miss
longtime
First Light?
PlayStation
I
fans
think
could have
I
played
missed
every.
Dude, it should have been Knack. What the fuck? They had such a good chance to
the
make
Knack
it Knack.
Army was so great.
And then
that
to,
was
like,
my
have
favorite thing. That was my
The
favorite
sequel
meme
be
from
coming
early,
out.
from
Dude,
early on the
it's not
PS4.
going anywhere. Knack
That
2
was
is gonna
my
be
favorite thing. All right, so the
Knack
next
is
story
back,
we have
baby.
is about Telltale's Game of Thrones series and how they're gonna not delay it, but it's getting pushed back a little bit. It's on
Gone.
hold.
It's dead.
I never finished it like the first season. I played 3 episodes and just never finished it. But so none of us played it. I don't think they're working. I guess they're using these resources to work on the next season of The Wolf Among Us, which would be great because that season's fucking awesome. And it ends on a huge cliffhanger that like I think we honestly care more about. But I want to take this moment to talk about the current season of Game of Thrones and what we thought of it, what our feelings are of it, because we've all seen it or know what happened, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes, I've seen
Aaron,
I thought you
what
weren't
did
gonna
think?
watch it.
What I did,
I think
well, you go ahead, Aaron. I'll tell you.
I think being Team Stark from day one has paid off. Finally, R.I.P. Littlefinger, you
I mean,
little
that's-
bitch.
That's like a
Yeah,
fucking
spoilers.
Yeah,
obviously.
sorry.
I mean, isn't that what we're doing?
Yeah, no. You're right. But I didn't. I
That's
didn't
totally
what
clarify.
the fuck?
Spoilers.
I didn't clarify it. But yeah, spoilers.
No. Fine. Sorry, viewers.
Just just find a way to blur that
Put it
out.
in
you know what I'm
the
saying?
in the thumbnail or on the video. Like spoilers incoming.
No, I'm not.
All right.
That's my bad, I guess. I thought
No,
that's what
I mean,
we were
like,
doing.
you're right.
You were right.
Anyway.
I did a bad job as the host, and I fucked up, Aaron.
Oh, good.
Anyway,
All right,
R.I.P.
so-
Littlefinger.
Continue.
That's really all I had. There was another big moment, but I guess now I'm gun shy about the spoilers.
What the
Uh,
dragon melting down the wall with his ice breath?
Yeah, that's a pretty big thing.
Good shit.
I wanted to make a joke a little bit earlier in the podcast where you said something about like the Game of Thrones Telltale thing is dead, and I almost yelled like that dragon. But then I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. See, that would have been a little much. But we
Yeah.
already started talking.
So I'm glad I didn't do that. But,
But
yeah,
overall, what
Team
did you
Stark.
think of the season?
I like the season a lot. It felt the only thing that was like annoying, but like I understand that they kind of had to do it was the fact that fucking these people were literally just teleporting around this continent like it was
Yes.
nothing. That kind of took me out of it a couple times. I was like, well, wait, how the fuck didn't he just go to the opposite end of this country?
Uh-huh.
But like again, there's so many different small plot lines that are coming together at the same time that like they have to keep things moving forward. And I feel like the best way to do that is kind of what they did. And we saw a lot of really cool things from a lot of different characters. Like this late in the show that there's still character development, like people are still changing, things are still happening that are interesting with all these different storylines is pretty crazy. I mean, it's probably not what it should be. Like a lot of people are upset that they're moving away from the books, but I mean, do what you have to
They're
do.
gonna
Like
move away from
I
the
think
books
it's
when
good.
there aren't any fucking books left.
Right. I mean, they're doing what they need to do. I think to some degree they might be pandering to like a TV audience. Like they
Oh, 120%.
yeah, and it's just that kind of sucks a little bit. But at the same time, it's still a good show. I'd say better than most like shows with this size following, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Better
By
than
this
The
time, they
Walking
usually
Dead.
completely shit the bed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like The Walking Dead is like the only comparable show, I would say.
Like it's rare that you see a show with fucking this many people, this behind it in such a huge way that there's like
Breaking
viewing
Bad was
parties.
like,
Breaking Bad was a big one, but it ended after 5
Yeah,
seasons.
Breaking Bad.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess
this
so.
one's on 7. You went on 8.
I guess.
Right, and it's still good. Like it might not be as good as it was, sure, but like it's still pretty fucking great by most standards. I feel like.
Well, I went
So
through a
I'm
big-
definitely excited to see what next season has.
Cool.
Cheyenne, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have pretty much the same things to say. Like, the writing kind of felt a little dumb. In the way that, like, earlier seasons, everything was very intricate and, like, you kind of
Yeah, it's not as clever
learned
for
about
sure.
all of these things. And, like, this season felt very, like, it was fast-paced because everyone was just, like, teleporting around. Like, it literally took Stannis Baratheon an entire season to get from Dragonstone to King's Landing, and they like did that like 10 times in one episode, I feel like.
Yeah.
So it was a little disorienting, but at the same time I don't think that like ruins anything about the show.
There's one particular moment that I feel like is worth mentioning as far as the teleporting,
Mhm.
like when Jon Snow and his people were on that like
Mhm.
little fucking
Yeah.
tiny
Yeah.
island. Like holy shit.
Yeah.
Go,
Gendry
run,
ran
run
back
back.
in like 10 minutes, and then
Oh, yeah.
suddenly Daenerys was there,
Non-stop,
and
just
then
gets
another
there,
one.
and he's like,
All of that happened in the course of a few hours in the show.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, it would have been
what?
so easy to write around that. Like,
But
oh,
yeah, just kind of like the way that everything is just kind of satisfying. Like, Littlefinger dying and like
John
all
and
these
Danny, you're
things,
satisfied,
like-
am I right?
Yeah. But like that kind of stuff, like all of that writing just seems very like, they are kind of
Pandery?
pandering.
it's
yeah.
very convenient.
Yeah.
David, you're
But
the
I
same
still
boat, though?
I still enjoyed it.
Yeah,
But-
I agree with Cheyenne on that. I think that the whole season kind of was invalidated by the finale because the whole season was this like buildup of this false drama with Sansa and Arya, and that ended up just meaning nothing because in the end it all worked out. And then the whole
That's
season was about
nonsense.
them getting okay. It was like, hey, what's gonna happen here? What's gonna happen here? Oh, by the way, we solved it. And then also you didn't get to see any of the behind the scenes that would have been really cool for that. And then we're gonna bring a White Walker to Cersei, and then she's gonna help us, and she's like, "I'll help you," and then she's like, "Actually, I'm gonna keep being a bitch." So that was all invalidated. And so like these last 6 episodes of them setting up all these like intricate plot lines was just
That's so short-sighted though.
where we
Like you're
were.
not taking into account the plot lines they set up by doing that.
Like, I think
Like
that
what?
makes sense
Yeah,
for
like-
Cersei to like not like.
I mean, yeah, it would have been really stupid if she
And
was
like,
like,
think
"Yeah,
about
I
what's
go with
gonna
that."
happen
But
between
also
Cersei
let
and
Jamie to leave, which he wasn't gonna do.
I'm so
I
excited for
guess.
Jamie to kill Cersei.
Yeah.
Like that's 100% happening.
And think about the fallout when fucking John and Danny learn who they are, like next season.
Yeah.
Who cares? They probably
Even
won't give a
hotter.
fuck.
That
Yeah,
or it
so
pits
I
them
didn't-
against each other, and there's a whole other fucking.
I made a really
conflict
good
with that.
joke, and I said that John's really gonna have egg on his face when he realizes that he's
Ah,
Danny. Do they only have like 4 names in the Targaryen?
evidently,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. But
Stupid.
what I did was I took the smart move and didn't watch any of it and just read the plot synopsis on Wikipedia.
Jesus
Oh really?
I
That's
just-
dumb.
I just spoiled the whole show for me because I was like, I'm never gonna watch this. So, and then I went back. I watched Littlefinger die. I watched what's her name die. Shout out to her when she tells Jamie that she killed Joffrey. I was like, yeah, you a bad one.
yeah.
She was great. I can't remember her
Savage.
name.
That's
Starts with an
the-
M.
Yeah,
fuck.
Missandra? No, that's
No.
not
No,
her.
that's
Elena
the-
Tyrell? Or
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
talking about other people?
Who am I
Oh
thinking
no, it
of?
starts with oh yeah, Olena. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what.
I'm
it is.
thinking of the Fire Witch lady.
Yeah.
And I watched the dragon. Is it fire breath or is it ice?
Ice.
I don't
It's
know.
Cool Ranch
I guess-
breath.
Cool Ranch.
Cool Ranch.
I think it would have to
Dorito
be fire, but it's like blue, so I don't know. 'Cause,
It's
like,
so stupid. It's
how
so
do you
cool,
know?
but that's the whole season. This is so cool, but it's so dumb.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
whole thoughts on it.
I've
And-
never
and
really
I-
cared for the White Walkers. I've
And I
always
also
thought-
fucking
watched
Marvel.
the part where Sam tells them like, "Yo, this is what's happening." Like him, Bran, and whatever, all of them figured out.
Give
And I'm
Gilly
like,
some
this is-
credit.
This is trash.
She's the one that read that.
Yeah.
So-
Everybody was pissed on the internet too. They're like, Sam didn't even fucking listen. And then he
I
just
know.
bust this out like it was
Yeah,
his
that's
idea.
the one that's like-
Speaking of things that were once very intricate and serious that took the route of popcorn flick, Destiny 2, we have some news on that. I want to voice my complaint really quick about
David
that.
wanted that Destiny transition. So
I got
David
it.
was
I got
so
it.
excited,
But listen.
man.
Listen. I really think Destiny 2 is going to be a good game. And I really wish that they had stuck with their guns and made the lore and made the story good enough that they could deliver it with a straight face instead of making every goddamn fucking line being like, oh, this is bad, guys, but it's funny because I'm a nervous robot. Like, it's so annoying. Like, Ghost is always like, I'm nervous and scared, but
No,
I'm
that's-
funny.
but
It's-
Cade is the one you should really be taking the aim at.
Yeah, he's literally
Cade's
Tony
the-
Stark. Like, why did
Yeah.
they change the tone so
I mean,
much?
he was like that in Destiny 1. Like, Cade.
At
Yeah,
the
but
end,
not
when they
so distinct.
retconned his character and were like,
Yeah.
yo, you're funny now.
Well, to be fair, that's like the only time he was interesting. He was terrible before that.
Like, I watched
Like,
the
they were all
strike because
terrible.
I really want to play the game and I'm really excited for it. And I watched the strike and Ghost's dialogue actually made me fucking physically hurt. Like,
Dude, you think that's
It's
bad, man. You were
so
playing Vanilla
silly.
Destiny.
oh my god. Like, he's like, oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And it's just like, shut the fuck up.
Is it
You
like
literally
these
killed a
wizards come
god.
from the moon bad, or is it fucking?
It's just
it's
like
not
no,
that
it's
bad.
not even that. It's just like the writing is like so Marvel Cinematic Universe, like goofy, over the top. Like nothing ever stops making quips, and I'm just like, fucking let me feel cool for like 2 minutes without.
Did you see that
making
live action
me-
trailer though, dude?
That was funny, but I'm like, this is like exactly the problem. Like they cannot deliver anything. They don't have any confidence. There's no confidence in the storyline, so they
It's
just
'cause
try to
they
make
took
it funny.
such a hit on the fucking original storyline that
'Cause they had to
fucking even
rewrite
tried
it.
to go back and fix it.
Yeah, they had no
and now
time.
they're
I-
like,
And now that they have time to go back and fix it, they just opt for like the easy way out of just making everything funny and like not serious, so that if it doesn't add up, people are like, "Well, it's just a fucking funny plot. Who cares?" Like, it's so frustrating. They should have gotten some fucking, chops on them and written a good story that they could deliver on.
So
as far as I'm,
the
yeah,
raid
I don't
comes
know.
out a week after the game comes out. Is what the story is.
That's what I was gonna say.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, Destiny 2 coming out on Wednesday. Why the fuck does it come out on Wednesday? It's so weird.
It's an early release, so it's gonna be Friday, and they wanted it to be Wednesday because the servers won't be as clogged up on
That makes sense.
middle of the week.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that's cool, and you can play it at midnight on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Your time guaranteed.
Yeah, I think you can preload it probably on other stuff. But yeah, did you have something to say about Destiny, Aaron or Cheyenne?
I think I did, but I forget. I was basically just gonna say that I kind of expected the story to not be good, so like I'm okay. Like my expectations are low, so when it exceeds those, I'll be happy. Like I'm sure it's gonna be better than
It's
what
not
I
the
expect.
lore; it's just the writing that gets to me.
I mean, I think it kind of is the lore because there wasn't really any lore at all in the first one.
Well, they're
least none
saying
that
there's no
was, like-
grimoire now, so they're gonna try to put all
Good.
that shit in the game. Because the grimoire cards and shit were cool. Apparently, people thought they were really well written. They had a lot of cool things in them, cool
But
ideas.
yeah, why was that not in the game? Like
Because
accessible
they,
by people. That
they
don't
ran out
speak
of
hours
time.
or
It went through
bullshit.
development
Not
hell.
only
They had
was
to
it
like
not-
restart.
Well, not only was it not in the game's like main story, it also like literally you just couldn't see them in the game. Like actually, like they weren't in the game. Like it wasn't even like they were flavor text on an item like in Bloodborne or something like that. They just weren't in the game like at all. Like,
You had to go to the
on
website,
app,
right?
Yeah.
So if you
That's
wanted to
dumb.
actually understand what was happening at all, you had to fucking do research on the
Yeah,
game.
like, that shit's
Yeah.
strange. I'm not fucking.
But the
saying
writing
it's
was
all-
good, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's got to be better this time. Like, there's no way it could be worse.
I
So like,
fucking hope so.
it-
This
that
next-
aside though, the game itself is fun as fuck.
Yeah,
so I'm
the-
excited.
Yeah, it
gameplay
looks
is
cool. I'm
great.
excited.
This next story we have here is about GTA Online, their Smuggler's Run update, but it also, the more important thing I think, is it adds a Battle Royale style mode called, what the fuck's it called? Motor Wars, is what it's called.
Yeah, Motor Wars.
Where it's similar to Battle Royale. All right, so I'm just gonna jump in on this. I played it this morning. It's fucking terrible. It is not
Really?
like Battlegrounds at all. No, it's
Yeah.
awful. It's
Really?
terrible. It's not like Battlegrounds.
I'm not surprised at all.
Like,
Is
it's
it
not
awful?
good.
Like actually awful, or just
Yes,
awful because you
it's not-
expected?
It's
PUBG?
not good. It's not good. Like it's 28 people, so like it's only a quarter of the gameplay of Battleground, and then
Mm-hmm.
you're broken up into teams that like you don't choose at all. Like they're not. It's not like everybody's by themselves, kind of
Ugh.
peeking out, and it's
Wow.
very like, and the map isn't optimized for like on Battlegrounds. Just about every hill you find you can climb on, but
Yeah.
in GTA like there's just mountains you can't climb on. So like if you get stuck
Yeah.
by one of them and the zone shrinks, you're dead. Like you just die. Like there's no like it's not gonna
that's
help you at
stupid.
all. And the way the teams are broken up is like there's only 4 teams, so there's only like you're only trying to kill 75% of the like actual game. And the way mine was broken up was only 2 teams, And I'm like, this is dumb. I don't like this at all. It was very not good. Also, the way GTA's lobby system works and the load times in that game are terrible. And fucking, there was like this kid who just had his mic on, listening to 3 Days Grace, and there's just no way to mute him.
I mean,
Yeah, there is.
you talk shit, but dude, the PUBG lobbies are fucking actually a nightmarish hell. Like, I have to turn off the voice chat.
But yeah, you can turn it off. You literally cannot turn it off in GTA. Like, there's just no
That's
way
upsetting.
to do it. Like, it's so bad. Yeah, don't.
Was that really loud?
Don't. Yeah, that was very loud.
I'm
Don't.
sorry.
What did we get?
Madrinas, I think.
Don't.
Shit.
They sponsored us already. Damn.
Thanks, Vegeta.
Yeah.
They're it's terrible. So we're not gonna talk about this anymore. I don't
That
care.
sucks.
About
I
it.
thought it would be at least
It's
playable.
It's bad.
That's okay. We should
He's
still
just
play
having
GTA.
fucking
though.
flashbacks.
It's bad. This other story none of you guys care about. Kyrie Irving got traded to the Celtics. Hell yeah. He was the cover
Alright.
star for NBA 2K. And so he was the cover star for NBA 2K. I'm going to explain this to you guys. And he was on the Cavaliers and then got traded to the Celtics. And now he's on a different team. But on the cover for NBA, he's like in a Cavaliers jersey. It's very funny. But Celtics going on the NBA
Hilarious.
this year. Last story is Oxenfree on the Switch. We talked about that with the Nindy stuff, I think. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But play Oxenfree. Oxenfree's great.
Is it?
Um,
I thought you said it wasn't good. I thought you said it
No,
wasn't
it's
like
good.
it.
I've come around on it since originally it came out.
All right.
It's
Nice.
it's very good. The way they do dialogue in that game is the best of any indie game.
I thought
Because-
no, you said I wouldn't like. Fuck, I don't remember what it's called. I'm sorry.
I don't know, but like the way they do dialogue in that game is fantastic. In that like they have this great system for interrupting people. How natural conversations work, where like you'd be talking and then like I can cut you off.
Oh,
Like,
cool.
and it's very adaptive and stuff like that. And I liked it very much. But now we go into the next segment of the show, which is what are we playing? Where Aaron's going to talk to us about Hellblade because he's finally finished Persona.
Yeah, I finished Persona, started Hellblade. Fucking loved Hellblade. Like, easily a 9.5 out of 10 for me. Just
Wow.
because the only way it suffered at all, I think, was the combat. And the combat was good. It was just by halfway through the game, it's like, okay, when are you going to introduce the new mechanic I feel like should be coming? And it just never does.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so absurdly motherfucking frustrating at a couple parts that I wanted to fucking blow up my PS4, and
That's
I
what I'm
still
saying.
love the game.
So you would have, if you had actually thought the rot thing would have killed you and like fucked you up if you had died,
I would have
like
been pissed. Like,
yeah.
now, having played the game now, I take that back. That would have been I would have hated the game
Yeah.
because holy fuck,
Mhm.
like at least 2 times I died, just 100% were not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I should not have died.
Can you explain like what happened?
So the way it's like a really tight, it's like similar to like you've played Devil May Cry, but like the camera in Devil May Cry is pretty far away from you, and you move a lot faster, so it's easier to control where you're going, what you're doing.
Mhm.
It's that kind of combat, but it's a little bit slower and like, I don't want to say clunky, but like it feels a lot different. It's like everything you do is a lot more deliberate, I guess,
Like,
is the only
I
way I
heard
know
it
how to
compared
describe
Dark
it.
Souls, like everything.
Yeah,
else.
yeah, actually that's a good comparison. But when in the beginning of the game they only send 1, maybe 2 enemies at you at a time, and that's
Mhm.
fine. It's like intimidating and it's like it's stressful, but it's fun and satisfying when you beat
And
them.
usually when they appear, the camera like kind of tilts to them, like when they
Yeah.
so you know.
And like when somebody comes up behind you, it's like the crazy voices here are like behind you, and usually it gives you enough time to dodge.
Okay.
But later on in the game, there's parts where they throw fucking like 10 enemies at you at a time,
Oh Jesus.
which is literally just fucking absurd for the way the camera works and the combat works. Like you just have to cheese your way through them until you're on the other side of all of them, and then just like guerrilla, like hit them twice, run, hit them twice, run.
Oh, that
And
sounds
that's not fun.
Yeah, I had an instance where I died. It was in like when you first start the game. There's 2 paths you can go down, and then one's like a fire path, and one is a I don't even know what the element I would call it. One is like,
Valravan, it's like
yeah,
the illusion.
illusion, I guess. But like
Yeah.
in the fire thing, like when you know like they're at the end of a section, like the whole like area is in fire, and you have to run quickly out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there was one part where I did nothing wrong, and when I eventually did it, like the 4th time, it worked. But like it just the fire caught me like 3 times, and I was like, "This is bullshit." And I would have been losing my fucking mind if like I actually thought it was gonna like delete my save like after all that stuff. But
I didn't have that problem, but like I definitely can see how that would be frustrating, especially if you thought you were actually gonna get your shit deleted.
Mhm.
But anyway, that being said about the combat, and that's only like 2 parts in the game. Like that literally happens twice. There's another part where it kind of happens when you meet spoilers. You cross this bridge and you meet Hela for the first time. That
Hela.
moment. That's the other thing is the fucking story is incredible. Like I love the Viking Norse mythology. That shit was awesome. I would love to see that kind of thing in games more often.
God of War's doing
It
that.
actually made me want to play WoW again just for the part where you go into Helheim or whatever.
Play a warrior. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's so fucking cool. But
what did you think of the FMV parts with the when it's that one her the guy she's going after he was talking
the
to her,
live action thing?
Yeah. What did you think of that?
That was pretty cool. I think it was an interesting way to introduce more characters. While I feel like that's probably cheaper to do than
oh totally
animating and putting in all these different assets for that kind of thing. And it was done really really well, and it fit the narrative incredibly. And I'm gonna try and keep it as spoiler free as I can, but for me to really express why I love this game, it's kind of hard to do. I've never ever had a game affect me the way that this one did in just a empathic emotional sense. The only time I can remember myself feeling as much as I fucking felt when I was playing this game was when was during Last of Us. I think is the only time I felt so just overwhelmed with emotion, and that's a really general way to put it. It does such a good job of making you feel her fear, her confusion, the just desperation, and even determination at certain parts. The bridge thing I was talking about, when you fucking just cut your way through these asshole demon guys, it was the best feeling in the world. And it's at that point you've been terrified by these voices in this fucked up world that, spoiler free, this is just world that you're working your way through. That when you finally get to this bridge, you've really accomplished something. There's this fucking crazy Viking chant playing, and you just cut these dudes down, and then you get to this door, and then there's another big story moment. But it was incredible, dude. And the world was so well crafted. It was interesting. It was, like I said, you feel everything that Senua. You feel everything that she feels in such a unique way. The way the sound design in that game was fucking incredible. Super super unique. I'd never experienced a game like this one before. I think it's safe to say.
And you played it with
I'm excited to
right?
play it again. I did, yeah.
Yeah, you have to play it with headphones, right? That's the only way to play it.
I tried playing it without headphones a couple times
And
just because I need to be kind of aware. Yeah, it really does. It's not the same experience. It's not anywhere near as good. Just because the voices and I actually there's I don't know if it's when you beat the game or if it's there when you start it, but there's a short making of thing on it comes with the game.
I think it's there after you finish the game. It's unlockable thing.
Okay, and they kind of describe actually how they captured those the voices and all the different things that you hear throughout the game, and they actually use, I think it's called a binaural microphone, and it's literally set up like human ears. So and they had actors move around it and talk into it. So when you have a headset on, it literally feels like there's people behind you fucking breathing into your ear, and it's horrifying. It really is. It's unsettling and not scary in a oh god I'm scared kind of way, but in a you feel uneasy, confused, and just it again, I at the risk of repeating myself, it captures that fucking just sense of confusion and just anxiety so well that I loved it so much.
Yeah, I don't think it ever outstays its welcome either. And it's
No.
6 or 7 hours. There are a few instances where the puzzles are they're not complicated, they're just kind of annoying and stuff like that, but I think it never feels like it's too much. It never goes I wish this game was over. I never felt like that. There
were a couple times where I feel like the puzzles kind of bugged a little bit too, but I think that might just be you're getting into, it's not, I don't know if you can call this an indie game as much as a
double A game. I think
Yeah.
is the kind of what they were going for.
I think you get what you pay for and more. I think I would have played this game if it were I would have bought this game if it were $60, played it, and not thought anything of it. I would not have been upset if this were a $60 game.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it definitely earns its price tag or whatever. So good on you, Ninja Theory, for
Check it out.
doing this game. Yeah. David, we talked about you were playing No More Heroes. Do you want to say anything more, or just you and playing?
Just that everybody should play it. I don't think it's for everyone. It definitely has flaws. But if you would all think that you're into kind of a surrealist, kind of satirical atmosphere with really good combat, kind of annoying mini games, but on purpose for the sake of making a statement, Suda's games are just they're crazy, and it's the last one that he's actually directed. So, and he's going to be directing the upcoming Travis Strikes Again, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, still tracking. I think I've pretty much said everything I want to say about it. So
Cool. Yeah, but Cheyenne and I, we played Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which, if you don't know, is the Uncharted big story DLC expansion thing where you play as Chloe and walk and hang out with Nadine and stuff like that. So, how far are you into it, Cheyenne? Did you finish it? Or
No, I haven't finished it yet. I just got to like the big temple thing. Like I did all the little like I got. To
You went around kind of the faux open world kind of thing, and then
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're like halfway through it, I would say, probably. After I finished it last night. I think next week is what I want to do is do like a whole spoiler cast where we just talk about like everything and go into full detail. But like, how are you liking it so far?
I really like it so far. Like, I really like how it opened. Like you kind of like all of the stuff, and you get to like explore like the top of the rooftops and stuff, and like, and then you go to this like absolutely gorgeous like huge expansive area.
Yeah.
And the climbing and stuff feels good. The shooting feels fine because I'm playing on the lowest difficulty because I like to have fun and enjoy the story. Yeah. And I really love Chloe and Nadine. They've got a really good chemistry.
So this is your first Uncharted game, right?
Yeah.
How does it like? Not weird, but is it like a transition at all where you have to like kind of like you're learning all the climbing elements and stuff like that? Because like
not really,
I'm like
but
programmed like at this point where like, oh, there's bird poop over there, we gotta jump over there, and it's like that kind of stuff is real easy.
Not really, like it's pretty obvious, I guess, since I did kind of watch David play Uncharted 4 and like very similar in its like mechanics. So like the only thing I've had trouble with is getting the like for having the little like the thing that you stick into the rocks.
Yeah.
Because like I'm so used to like pressing X to climb, like moving to square to do that thing is the only thing I have. But like I can tell like when I need to be climbing on something. Like it's not like
I didn't know how you would feel about all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm the same, but I really like it. We're gonna get into it more in the sportcast. So I don't want to give everything away. I like Chloe and Nadine. I don't love them, kind of.
I love them.
My situation is how I would put it. But yeah, that's what we've been playing. We'll hopefully talk more about that next week. But then this brings us to the everybody's favorite new topic on the show, which is better, where I ask you guys a question that you have no idea what I'm about to say, and then you guys give me your gut reaction to it. So I'm gonna start. Which is better, Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time?
That's Ocarina of
Aaron.
Time.
Majora's Mask.
That's just wrong.
All right, so fight. Cheyenne, what did you get?
I think I would also say Majora.
All right, so
Fucking
gang up on Aaron.
I don't know.
Literally just objectively wrong. Like,
maybe, but I just like that Majora's Mask is kind of like a contained little like it's all like one. I don't know. For me, Ocarina of Time.
You're allowed to like one of them better. The question was which is better.
Majora's Mask is better.
No. Ocarina of Time is designed so much better. Like it fucking. Everything about Majora's Mask is such a pain in the like. I love the game. Let me say that I love Majora's Mask. The game is a fucking pain in the ass.
Oh, that's why I like it because it's so intricate. Like all of the quest lines that have to be designed around each other on like the time limit and how they all.
That's why it's bad. It's fucking. It's hard for the sake of being hard. Like it's fucking
a masterwork in design because of all the intricacies of the timeline. I like it. I think that it really adds to the gravitas of the situation. And I think that the mechanics for the masks are really cool and they're really fun. Yeah. They're more fun than any of the gameplay in Ocarina of Time. Like rolling around as a Goron is more fun than anything you do in the other game. And swimming around as a Goron.
There are moments in Majora's Mask that are fucking incredible. And that game, like it definitely should be commended for being an awesome game. I think overall, Ocarina of Time flows way better than Majora's Mask. It's just overall put together better than Majora's Mask. Just because Majora's Mask has an annoying fucking time mechanic that makes you do other things in really annoying, intricate ways doesn't make it better.
I think that it means that the characters are more well written and they're more rounded and explore their relationships with you more because of how you're always going back and talking to them and kind of learning new things in little piecemeal sections.
Yeah, that is true for sure. There's a lot more characters.
The quests are better in Majora's Mask too.
Yeah, I just think
the quest lines are awesome.
The like setup of the storytelling because like you're back in time and stuff. I think that's like so interesting.
Like just the quest like with like the girls at the lawn lot or at the ranch, the quest with the girl's dad that you're trying to cure. All those are more emotionally impacting than any of the quests except for the main quest and maybe an Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, you're
Is it all
100%
side
correct. I
quests?
agree with you. The side quests in Ocarina of Time are almost non-existent. Like,
Yeah, they're like fetch quests at best.
right. But at the same time, I think sometimes the simpler answer is the better one, just because, like, sure, these cool quest lines exist in Majora's Mask, but sometimes there's such a pain in the ass to even get to or access that, like, you wouldn't even know they existed unless somebody else told you about them. Like, it's just such a fucking pain to get to some of this stuff that it's not even worth the time.
I don't know. I like the depth of the game. I like how there's so much to like discover, and I like how cryptic and dark the storyline is, and I really enjoy the atmosphere of kind of
again, I enjoy
foreboding.
that too. I think the atmosphere could exist without the fucking time mechanic being so complicated and convoluted.
I don't think it doesn't really like punish you that much for like going
sure?
back or anything.
You have to restart entire temples if you fuck up.
I mean, the Song of Slow Time kind of.
And again, that's a fucking thing that you only find if you look it up, or like
That's
fucking
not
when you
true.
were a
That's
kid,
like
you
carved
open
into
up
one
the
of those
strategy.
fucking,
And unless you like know what you're doing.
No, that song is never taught to you unless you find it.
I don't think so.
It 100% is. There's like a scarecrow that teaches you these fucking backward songs, but I think you have to play them for him first before he tells you.
Inverted Song of Time. Let me see. You guys can continue talking. I'm gonna.
I mean,
like, it's just
we're gonna end
I
this
also
soon.
have to. I
agree with you that Majora's Mask it has a better atmosphere and more like interesting side quests. I think overall, Ocarina of Time is a better game. It's just put
Silent
together
Scarecrow
better.
teaches you the Song of Inverted Time.
Cheyenne, you get the last
Does he
word.
teach it to you outright though, or do you have to play it for him
Yes,
first?
he teaches it to you
No,
outright.
I was
Alright,
just
well,
gonna
fair
say
enough, I
that
stand
I'm
corrected.
the kind of person kind of game, so I guess I can't really say which one, more annoying.
But again, I feel like that's not even an argument. So sure, the Scarecrow teaches you the song, but you have to use this additional tool to make the game less annoying to get through, because the fucking time mechanic is up
Yeah,
your
but
ass
there are
the whole
times
time.
when you don't want the time to be slowed, like you want to get to like some quest that's like on a certain day, so you use the Song of.
That's even more evidence to my point that it's
I don't
annoying.
think
Like,
so.
you can only do things on certain days, so you're constantly like stuck in this fucking loop. Like, ah, shit, I wanted to do this thing, so now I have to restart time and redo all these other things to get to this one fucking thing. And then when I finish this, I again have to restart time and do everything again a different way. It's so annoying.
I think it's rewarding to figure out the patterns.
annoying,
And
but
plus,
it's
in
fun.
the 3DS version, they give you like a time sheet, like that shows you when all the quests are happening that you've learned of.
Oh yeah,
and
that's.
it makes it a lot more intuitive. So I would argue, and then I would.
like the
Ocarina of Time like also has a bunch of like mechanical problems like that, like putting on the fucking iron boots in the water temple in the original game is like such a goddamn nightmare. But in the 3DS version, you just click a button. So if we're just comparing those versions, the 3DS version of Majora's Mask is way more intuitive.
Than the 64 version of fucking what?
Well.
What? No, I'm saying that I'm saying that the 3DS version of Majora's Mask is more intuitive than its 64 because they added like a quest block.
He's saying 3DS Majora's Mask got upgraded more than 3DS Ocarina of Time.
Okay, I thought you were comparing 3DS Majora's Mask to fucking 64 Ocarina of Time.
Obviously,
No.
I was like, sure, you can create advantages if you want, but I mean, that doesn't make sense.
No, that's not what I was saying.
Well, this has been we're done. This has been
Okay.
Which is Better, brought to you by Milanos or whatever the fuck you guys have been.
Madrinas.
Madrinas.
Whatever you guys have been drinking. We'll have a new sponsor next week. That brings us to the topic of the week, which is David's favorite topic, which is we're gonna predict meta scores for the games coming out in September.
Yes.
This is
right.
David's wheelhouse. He's a Metacritic savant.
I'm very good at it.
Yes.
I called the fucking Absolver score within 1 point last week, so
So we'll all
Bow
predict,
down.
we're all gonna predict 7 games, I think, and then we're gonna come back at the end of the month and see who has like the least deviation. Does that make sense?
yeah, I have a deviation column in my spreadsheet.
Great.
Cute.
He's taking this so serious. All right, so the first
I think
game,
we should all guess and then talk about it.
well, we're all gonna guess on one game, and then we're gonna talk about said game.
Yeah, that's
All right.
yes,
So the
that is
first
what I
game
said.
is Knack.
okay.
Cheyenne.
Knack 2.
No,
Knack
I
two.
don't want to go first because this
Alright.
is like the only game I do not know.
All right, fine. I'll go first. I'm saying 78.
Okay.
Aaron,
I'm saying low 60s.
you gotta
Give me a
pick
number. 62.
All right, 63.
All right. I said 77.
I was gonna say 65.
All right.
All right. So yeah,
Low
I think
ball.
Knack 2. I think it's previewing pretty well, and I think people are gonna. I think it's previewing pretty well from the previews I've read, and I think it's gonna. A lot of people are gonna say this is better than the original Knack 7.5.
Yes,
what is gonna
but that's
happen.
like a pretty low bar.
Like that, but that's what I think was. I'm just saying, like we're predicting Metacritic.
Yeah, I didn't even
scores.
consider that. Yeah, I
If
think
this was a fucking like new IP and it was releasing like Knack 2, it would be the same story. It'd be like, this is archaic and boring and it's lame. Because that's how it looks. It looks really
No,
boring.
I don't think it.
looks
I think it looks a lot better than the first Knack. If I'm being honest.
I mean,
Like,
it
the
does,
stuff
but
I-
like,
all the reactions I've heard that were kind of what you were saying before is like everybody that's playing it is like, holy shit, I expected garbage, but this is actually
That's what,
okay.
exactly what I think. Everything's gonna be like, it's okay, 7.5.
was this all part of the plan?
That's
Release
what
a
I-
really bad game and then release.
Yeah, that's what Mark Cerny had in his mind. He's like, we'll get him with the second one. We'll cultivate this army that wants it free on PS Plus. And they'll go to bat for us for Knack 2. All right. So the
Okay.
next one, Destiny 2, Aaron.
I think, fuck, I don't like that I have to pick a hard number.
You do.
76.
Cheyenne.
Low ball.
I say 82.
David.
Okay. I said 84.
I said 83.
All right. God, me and CJ are within one of each other.
I have
All
all of
right.
mine written down beforehand too, so like I'm
I don't
not
know.
like, just,
I don't know.
So do
I'm
I.
just going off it.
Destiny
Um,
2 is going to be it's going to be received well. People are going to praise it for how much shit there is to do, but they're going to complain about the future DLC content being so like required and being such an integral part of the
Oh, yeah,
main
we didn't
game.
talk about that. The DLC, the first DLC for Destiny 2 leaked. It comes out in December. We didn't talk about that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's an important part
and
of
I
this
think
game.
it's gonna be similar to Knack 2, where people are gonna be like, vanilla Destiny 2 is much better than vanilla Destiny 1.
Yes.
And they're
I
gonna
don't think that the DLC is really a good argument either, because like that's the whole point. Like if WoW was like, there's never going to be an expansion, this is all the game is, I'd be like, what the fuck am I working for? Like you need to have like a raid, and then like you're working for the next big thing. That's the fun of it. That's like
Yeah.
expecting the things that are around the corner. That is the whole fucking point. It's an MMO. So people bitching about like expansion passes, like for Destiny 2, that doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Like if
you
it's
need
like
support.
a $60 game still,
I mean, you're right.
and I have
but
to pay $40 like right out the gate. Like
it's
within
got a
2 months of
20-hour
release.
campaign packed in though, so like that's
Like, I mean,
more than
still,
most
like,
$60 games have.
I mean, $60 game again is for an MMO is an argument that doesn't make sense to me because like WoW is sure it's $40 like base, but then you have a monthly subscription. Like Destiny, you buy the game,
Like,
and
it's
aside from needing
Destiny's
PS
not
Plus,
an MMO though. Like, it's not the same. I
It
don't think
pretty
they're
in
much
a
is an
console sense, I
MMO.
think it kind of is.
They're
It's
apples
very
and oranges.
close.
I feel like they're apples and oranges.
I don't think so.
don't.
I
Like,
think it's like as
Destiny-
close to
it's
an
the
MMO
same
as
community.
FPS can
Destiny is much more akin to the Division or Wildlands or something like that, rather than
Both
World
of which are
Warcraft.
akin to MMOs.
Those-
I
but
feel.
those are MMO lights. Those aren't real MMOs. I wouldn't say. That's just my take. All right. Anyway, next game, Divinity: Original Sin 2. David,
get. 89.
Cheyenne,
Okay, 85.
Aaron.
Honestly,
I went
about this
the-
game,
I went-
86.
I said 82. Yeah, I don't-
82? Bullshit. You're out of your
good.
fucking mind. That's gonna cost you the win, CJ. I'm calling it right now. I'm highlighting your number.
Jesus Christ, David with these
I-
spreadsheets.
David is so
Yeah.
excited about
Ben-
this
We're gonna-
topic.
You
He's very
fucked
We
it.
need to put a screenshot of this in the episode somehow.
I can
I
make
will,
the-
I'll
I can make
send you
this.
one.
I'll make this the fucking the thumbnail.
Thumbnail,
The video
yeah.
if you want
There
to.
you go.
That'd make
No,
me want to watch it.
Divinity
I really
Original
want this
Sin
game
2
to
is going to be incredibly. I'm actually lowballing it a little bit. I think it's going to be in the low 90s because the first game was hailed as one of the best action RPGs ever made. They've got a new budget. They've got they've had a lot more time to work on it. It's been in early access. They've been getting community feedback. It has way more classes, way more quests. I like the first game. I'm really dumb, so I can't beat the first
I
big
want us
boss.
to finish
So we
it.
got stuck.
It's
so I'm working on it.
fun.
But it's a fucking it's unlike any RPG I've ever
It is
played. It
very
is so
fun.
deep. It is so like you do whatever the fuck you want. You're gonna solve these problems. It's like D&D Virtual Edition. This game is going to do great review wise.
The thing I wanted to say is we are like Knack 2 is only on PS4, but Destiny 2, like whatever the higher score,
The highest,
is,
yeah.
is-
Unless
is
it's like
the-
of 4 reviews instead of like 6.
yeah. Or
We're gonna take the
like,
most
one-
represented.
Yeah,
I might even go to OpenCritic for this shit because that just aggregates everything.
Alright,
So
whatever, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. So next one is Dishonored: Death of the Outsider. Cheyenne.
I want to say 90.
really,
I
David?
want it to be good.
that's not how it works, dude.
I
82,
know.
Aaron.
80.
81.
81. All right,
It's gonna
We're
be
one
good,
apart on
okay?
each one, David. Except
Cheyenne, that's
except
gonna
for
fuck you
Divinity.
so hard.
I don't care. So it's fine.
I mean, is it gonna fuck her though? Like, do these
It
matter
could
in
be
any
good.
sense?
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna cost her the win, dude.
I think
Yeah.
it'll be just like Uncharted 4 with Uncharted Lost Legacy. It has about a 5-point discrepancy because it's the DLC. I think some people will, for whatever reason, hold that against it, and it'll be less.
We should have some kind of a bet on this. Like the winner should get.
Well,
something.
I
It's
think
gonna be-
this is gonna be like a monthly segment. So like, unless you want to start
Okay,
betting like
okay.
pizzas every month,
Yeah, I'll
we
take a
could,
pizza every
like,
month.
but, like, whatever.
I'll take a pizza every day.
Next game, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, 65.
Damn.
What the fuck? All right,
David.
I said 80.
Oh yeah, you played yourself. You
You're
fucking
fucking
played yourself, David. Cheyenne.
70.
Aaron.
I'm gonna split the difference. I'll say 75.
Why do you think this game's gonna do so poorly?
It doesn't have X-Men in it. Why the fuck aren't X-Men in it?
Who gives a
Is
shit
that the
I don't
about
think that's gonna
Marvel?
They're
affect the
fucking
win.
like they've been in every Marvel vs. Capcom game. This shit is trash. It looks like trash. Graphically, it looks like
It
trash.
does look like
Look
trash.
at fucking Injustice.
It's much
compared to
worse
this
looking
game.
than 3.
I didn't realize CJ was this fucking heated about
It's
Marvel vs.
fucking
Capcom.
trash. This game is gonna review terribly, and I'm so excited. David fucking fucked.
I don't know anything about it. I just kind of was like,
it
it's
looks so bad.
Capcom
The
game.
community already hates it. Like it's.
Oh yeah, no, I know
this
that.
shit is
I know
gonna-
that.
This
already.
shit is not gonna review well. The thing I'm most comparing to is like Injustice is a superhero fighting game that came out this year, and look at that game. That game,
game
was
got
like
really good
fucking
reviews.
insane. Like not even review scores. Like just look at it. Like it is gorgeous. And then this game.
I haven't even seen gameplay of this. I might have fucked myself
Yeah,
on my.
you really did. Yeah. Okay, next one is Danganronpa Volume 3 Killing Harmony. I'm saying 87.
Don't know anything about this shit.
87.
I said 84.
Aaron,
82.
Cheyenne.
I'll go 78.
Okay, you're lowballing
bad.
Spike Chunsoft. No, this game's awesome. These games are cool. I watched the playthrough of the first one. It's really cool.
What are you guys gonna
They're
do
like
if me or
the-
Cheyenne win? You'll feel
Their
like fucking
visuals.
chumps.
Yeah, you're gonna-
I mean, like
Yeah,
I'm not
I feel
taking
that.
that serious. If I'm being honest.
I am.
David is. He's got a fucking spreadsheet.
Yeah, David's gonna lose his mind. David keeps these spreadsheets on his computer for jerking off later. Like he's like, yes, I found it.
I'm gonna win.
All right, and then last game is Cuphead. Aaron,
I'm gonna go 92.
75.
Really?
Oh, I had a 76, you fucker. That was supposed to be my cool contrary answer.
Oh,
I'm
Cheyenne.
going 85.
I wish I
85.
knew things
That
about
game
these
is
fucking
going
games.
to
I mean,
not
Wait,
be
why?
Underwhelm. It's gonna underwhelm.
because it is extremely shallow.
games that get announced in 2014 and come out now do not do well.
yeah. See, I don't take these things into consideration. I just like, does it look cool?
I-
All right, 90.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
The graphics will be praised, but the gameplay is going to be absolutely ripped apart for being incredibly shallow and repetitive.
Yeah,
and the
I
platforming
think
levels
what-
that got
yeah.
shoehorned in.
It's gonna
Are
be
gonna
like the
be-
platforming's terrible. The bosses are fun, but the platforming's terrible, and the thing is nice.
Yeah, I knew none of this. I haven't done any research into this game. I'm just like, I know what I've seen from like the videos. I'm like, I like that art style. It's gonna be. amazing."
it's gonna look good. Exactly.
But yeah, that is predict the Metascore. So we'll talk about. Do we want to check in? Like, no, we should just talk about the end of the month. Is what we should do.
End of the month? Okay.
End of the month. That's what we'll do. And whatever it is at the time of recording at the end of the month. Let me look at the calendar. Is what we're gonna do. So if something gets more reviews, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so we're recording. The next time we'll record is literally September 30th. So perfect. Is what we'll take.
You want me to share? I'll share the spreadsheet with you all.
Yeah, put it in the Google Doc or whatever, so we can.
Okay.
we
Dude, it's
can-
like I'm really back at work. Fucking got my shared
You gotta, do,
spreadsheets.
you gotta do your functions, man. You gotta hit that little.
How do
function
I
button.
put it in the Google Doc? I'll figure.
I don't know. You'll figure it out.
I don't know. I'm good.
Anyway, this has been our show. This is the Current Gaming Podcast, episode number 18. Aaron, we can find you on Twitter at Aaron M Weeks.
Yeah, that one.
You gonna have fun? Where's your cat? Cat didn't make an appearance today.
Yeah, I don't know. It's actually a little weird. He was like meowing when we first started, but I don't know where he's at now.
Milo made a subtle appearance on the Cheyenne's lap, but it's not.
No, he got his face up in my.
Oh, did he? I must have missed that.
There we go. It's there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's sexy, dude.
Oh. Well, you need to make a cell that's like the actual score, don't you?
Jesus Christ, I said 63 on NAC.
I love how David
Yeah.
highlighted my Divinity Original 2.
Yeah.
You're
Bliss
fucked.
thing. That's hilarious. I'm not even that far off from
We got, like I said, 85 or.
I just
Like,
want you to know
what
that
the fuck?
mine is the best guess there.
No, the worst guess
Okay.
I think is 80 for Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, you're probably not
that
wrong.
might be the worst guess, or 90 for Dishonored.
I was
That-
about to
that's
say-
pretty
92 for
bad.
Cuphead.
No,
No,
it's
that's.
Oh,
gonna be
92 for Cuphead. Yeah, that's the worst.
You're out of your
Sorry.
fucking mind.
That's the worst.
See, I didn't know that it was like not doing well as far as fucking
It's
like.
not doing well. I'm just calling that it's not gonna review well.
But
I've
you
been
need,
around
to,
the
you need
fucking
to
block.
make a cell that's for like what it
All right.
actually is. So,
Sure.
Figure.
Anyway, that was fun. We'll check in on that at the end of the month. Cheyenne, you're on Twitter.
Yeah. At Poop Flowers.
You can follow
As
you.
always.
What's your Reddit name in case anybody wants to play
I'm
Overwatch
not
with you?
gonna give out that information.
No. Okay. And then David, you're on Twitter at my guy Dave.
My guy Dave.
And then what the fuck's it called? Instagram at dmorg.
E_morg.
Yeah, you can see your art there. Milo doesn't have a Twitter account. Yeah, it's at.
He
Oh no,
should.
he got banned. That's right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then I'm at Charles
Milo's
Silla,
edgy as fuck, dude.
and see ya.
Bye.